Pozdravljeni v oddaji Zdravje Bp, še zmeraj na mestu Urše, sedim na njenem mestu jaz. Gostimo Luka Limena iz Polyqueen skupine, ki je njihov glavni predavatelj in izobražuje trenerje po celotnem svetu. Tudi Sandi je bil pri njemu na nekaj izobraževanjih in imeli smo to srečo, da ga gostimo celo več kot pa teden dni. Luk je bil pripravljen z nami narediti 2 oddaji in danes bomo nadaljevali to, kaj smo v prejšnji oddaji, torej prejšnji teden, se pogovarjali okrog treninga. So about training again, what do you think is the best training program for fat loss?
Well, there's a saying in the industry that the best training program is the one you're not currently doing, okay? So there isn't really a best training program. There's best training programs for you at that time, right? Typically it's, again, that's best handled by a professional, somebody who knows how to deal with someone's body, different injuries, things like that. So it's really important to find a fitness professional that knows what they're doing, which can be very difficult in our industry. So you want to make sure that they have the right credentials. Obviously, I'm going to talk about the PICP program that the Polyqueen group does because that's what we teach. Basically, the level 1 and 2 is fitness assessments, strength and balances across joints and across your body, and injury potential and how to fix that, and how to reduce injury in general population athletes. So, you know, there's lots of different styles of training. You can do high reps, low reps. You can do lifting fast. You can do Olympic lifting, powerlifting, bodybuilding, fitness. You know, there's all sorts of things. Really the most important thing you should focus on is doing the one that you like the best, you know, doing something that's well suited for your body. If you like to lift heavy and you don't have any injuries, that's a good way to lift. If you want to look like a bodybuilder, you train like a bodybuilder. As far as fat loss is concerned, since summertime's coming up, and that's what everybody's doing right now, it's my opinion you should be training like a bodybuilder. So reps in this 8 to 12 rep range, you know, high volume, anywhere from 24 to 36 sets, less rest, building up a lot of lactate, and getting a good sweat going on and huffing and puffing a little bit.
So would you do this like indefinitely or until you get your body fat down, or would you mix it up? Would you add some other programs to it?
Yeah, it's really good to mix stuff up because A, you'll get stagnant and bored, and B, your body will stop needing a reason to adapt. So we have what's called the SAID principle, specific adaptations to impose demands. If you continue to do the same stimulus to your body, eventually your body will adapt to it. And that's one of the problems with people that do long distance running. At some point, you can't run any faster or any farther, and your body gets so adapted to it that it doesn't allow for any more fat loss at that point. And typically we see that in about 6 to 8 weeks of training. As far as weightlifting is concerned, you never hit that stagnation as long as you're changing the stimulus. So stimulus could be changing of exercises, so you could change angles. Phase 1, you may do an incline press. Phase 2, you may do a flat bench press. Phase 1, it might be a row. Phase 2, it might be a pull-up, something like that. And then changing your sets and reps around and your rest periods as well.
Yeah. How about regeneration? In my experience, people don't pay enough attention to it. So they train more and more, but they don't pay any attention to regeneration, so they don't sleep enough and everything. How important is that?
Yeah, I mean, sleeping is everything. If you're not sleeping, you're not going to repair. And that's between the time of about 10 o'clock at night till 6 in the morning is when your body and a lot of that repairs. So between 10 and 2 is when your body starts to repair itself, and between 2 and 6 is when your brain repairs itself. So if you're disrupting any part of that, you're going to be physically and mentally impaired as far as recovery. And what we look at is a recovery deficit. So you end up getting people that they may be sleeping 4, 5, 6 hours a night, but they want to train 6, 7, 8 hours a week, and they want to know why they can't sleep anymore and why they can't recover. It's because they started off not sleeping, and now their body is getting whacked out and super stressed. Right, which will lead to things like insomnia. It'll lead to things like getting sick all the time. Your immune system will get messed up. You can get food intolerances, achy joints, and then worst case scenario, you start getting injured.
So it isn't so like if you're training a lot, you're really tired and you just sleep good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would be nice if you just work out really hard and it knocks you out, but we find that that's not the case. area of somebody who's overtraining, they're going to have an issue where they can't sleep at all. So this is the guy that's tired and wired. They're physically exhausted, but their brain is racing while they sit there, and all they can do is think about everything that happened that day, everything that's going to happen the next day, and all the stuff they have to do. When this is the case, and that's somebody whose nervous system is revved up and they're releasing too much adrenaline. So that's going to keep them up at night, keep it hard for them to sleep.
We can talk about stress and stress hormones and maybe some supplements that could help for fat loss after our next point in the show. It's exercise time. So we just take a look what we showed for the people. Poglejmo našo vajo, ki smo jo z Sandjem pripravila, potem pa se bomo pogovarjali dalje še o stresu in pa o dodatkih, ki lahko pomagajo. Nadaljujemo za našo serijo vaj za noge in sicer bomo naredili poseben počep z ročkami danes, ki bo obremenil še posebej močno kvadriceps. Sandi ga bo pokazal, pri tem je dobra in pa zelo priporočljiva uporaba takšne male rampice, kjer je močen naklon, pete so potem močneje dvignjene od zadaj, vsa teža gre malenkost naprej. Če imate težave z koleni ali pa kaj takega, vam to vajo odsvetujem, se poslužite rajše kakih drugih vrst počepov, ali pa tudi kakšna ekstenzija kolena ali pa kaj takega bo znala priti prav v tem primeru. Če težav z kolenom nimate, potem se poslužite te vaje. Pazljivo pri tem za hrbtenico. Hrbtenica mora biti zravnana, ko spuščate v počep. Sandi bo pokazal, kako, pa bom vmes kar povedal. Kolena lahko grejo malo naprej, torej tako bomo kvadriceps malo bolj obremenili. Sandi ostaja ves čas zravnan, tudi pri samem spustu ostaja zravnan in pa ne pride do kakšne fleksije v bokih, torej boki ostanejo zravnani in pa kolena gredo malenkost naprej. Pri tem vseeno ne dviguje pet, torej pete pušča trdno na podlagi, počasen spust, konstantna napetost na mišici, v dvigu ne iztegne kolen popolnoma, ampak malenkost pred popolno iztegnitvijo zaustavi mišico, obdrži pod napetostjo in potem gre v ponovni spust. Naredite nekaj ponovitev več, jaz priporočam tam med 12 pa 15 za tiste začetnike, kasneje, ko boste zdržali napetost na mišici malo dalje, lahko delate tudi med 15 pa 20 ali pa celo višje ponovitve za to vajo. In smo že nazaj. Upam, da boste si vajo dobro zapomnili in naredili tudi kje v vašem programu. Z nami še vedno Luke Limen. Luke, you talked about overtraining and cortisol. How exactly does this affect fat loss?
Okay, well, cortisol is one of the primary stress hormones, right? So when you're overtraining, causing your body stress, then cortisol will start to rise in a more of a fight or flight scenario. So typically when you look at our ancestors and you look at even animals, right? You have some zebras, they're out in the pasture, right? They're eating, right? They're chomping on some grass, they're doing zebra stuff, right? So then a lion jumps out, right? And what happens to the zebras? They freak out, right? So they get a dump of stress hormones, so cortisol and adrenaline, gets dumped into them so that they have energy to run. So what it does is it raises blood sugar and it pushes free fatty acids into the bloodstream so that they can sustain running from the lion, right? Well, so after they've escaped the lion, they go back to normal, right? They just start chomping grass again and doing zebra stuff, right? They don't think about the lion, right? They don't look around and go, hey man, where's Dan? Dan, oh man, Dan. The lion got Dan, right? They don't freak out about it, but that's kind of what we do as humans, right? We're constantly stressing ourselves out. Like, instead of just having a stimulus and then having it go away, it's constant stimulus with family things, your job, money issues, your mortgage on your house, your car payment, bills, and all that. So you're constantly bombarded with stress. So other than being the primary fight or flight stress hormone, cortisol also raises blood sugar. So it opposes insulin. Insulin lowers blood sugar, cortisol raises it, and we can talk about insulin a little bit in a little bit. So the problem with this is that when you're stressed out all the time, and cortisol is being dumped all the time, you're going to have high blood sugar all the time because that cortisol is going to drive blood sugar up, up, up. When blood sugar goes up, it has to come down. If not, you die, right? So you have to secrete insulin. Insulin is a primary storage hormone. Okay? So as that starts to drive blood sugar down. The problem with this also is that insulin is the most inflammatory hormone in your body. So as insulin is, as you become hyperinsulinemic, you're going to have hyperinflammation too. So the secondary job of cortisol is to reduce inflammation. So now you have high cortisol because you're stressed, you have high cortisol because you're inflamed, you're insulinemic all the time. Now you're constantly in fat storage mode, not fat burning mode. Okay, so it's literally impossible for you to lose fat at that time. All you're doing is you're losing muscle mass and you're replacing it with fat tissue.
Would some de-stress methods help?
Yes, de-stress methods will help. Getting enough sleep, okay? It's been shown that people that sleep less than 5 to 6 hours a night have increased blood sugar, increased cortisol, increased insulin, and decreased male sex hormone. So they're gonna lose testosterone, which is your primary hormone for building lean body mass, okay? Without testosterone, you won't have the drive to train and you won't have the anabolic potential to put on muscle mass.
How about yoga?
Yoga, yes, absolutely. Stretching has been shown to reduce cortisol as well. So
Meditation, maybe?
meditation as well. So you're looking at sleep, meditation, yoga, stretching, walking, getting a lot of walking. I like walking for fat loss a lot because it's easy. You can do it typically anywhere you are, and you can recover from it really well. There's no overtraining aspect of walking. So you can walk pretty much as you want every day and do a lot of it.
How about walking to the kitchen?
Walking to the kitchen.
Yeah, we want to cook something.
Yeah?
Again, well, it's not exactly cooking. We did a smoothie.
It's a smoothie.
Yeah, it's a smoothie.
You guys love your smoothies, don't you?
Yeah.
Man, you really love your
And
smoothie.
you made
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, I did make
Just
one.
take a look at it.
Yeah.
Z Lukom sva naredila en zanimiv smoothie. Poglejte si ga in ga ponovite tudi doma. Tukaj pa recept. Pozdravljeni spet v našem kuharskem kotičku. Še vedno je z mano Luke Limen iz Polyqueen skupine. V bistvu njihov glavni predavatelj, bi rekel, tisti, ki izobražuje po svetu okrog druge trenerje. In danes bo z mano pripravil en smoothie. Is that right?
The
You
only
didn't understand
thing-
it, huh?
The only thing I understood was smoothie.
Yeah, that's good.
Polyqueen group.
Yeah.
You
So,
could be talking smack about me. I have no idea what you're saying, so it's okay.
I know I'm trying to, but
I barely speak English, so.
okay. So
Alright.
what we're going to use for the smoothie?
We are gonna make a smoothie out of, we're gonna use
Greek yogurt.
Greek yogurt. Value
like
Greek
that.
yogurt as a base, okay?
Why?
Well, it's high in protein, it's low in carbohydrates, it's low in fat, and has a good dose of probiotics, so it's good for your stomach, okay? So we're just gonna plop that right in there, just like that. You like my special effects?
Yeah, I do.
Makes it taste better when I do that. All right, you wanna lick the spoon?
Oh yeah.
There you go. All right. All right, so, that's gross, I shouldn't do that. So, got the yogurt. All right, now we're gonna add some blueberries, okay? Blueberries are really high in antioxidants. They're really good at lowering inflammation in the body, especially with people who train hard, okay? Next,
I
we're
like
gonna.
them very much. I use them
Yeah,
quite
they're
often.
good. Do you? Mm-hmm. Me too.
Good to know.
Good. So, all right, so now we're gonna take a little cilantro. Cilantro is a really good liver detoxifier. It's also very alkaline too. So that's what we're trying to do with a shake, is not only put protein in your body, but also to make it more alkaline, okay? Most people are walking around very acidic, and that's where a lot of inflammation happens, a lot of joint injuries, and a lot of disease, okay? So next, we're gonna add in cucumber. Okay, again, very good at alkalizing the body, so I think that's good enough. And lastly, we're gonna use papaya. Papaya is really good. It has a lot of enzymes in it. They're very good for breaking down tissues in the body, okay, and also in the stomach. So we've already taken all the seeds out of this. You'll wanna take those out, and then we can dig some of this out and get it in there. Or I could have just chopped it up. Would have been a lot easier. But I don't use papayas very much. How about a frozen kind? You guys got fancy on me tonight.
Thank you.
All right, so we're gonna stick it in this mixer.
Jaz bom vse skupaj zmiksal, kasneje postreževa, Luke bo pa povedal še kaj več o tem.
Okay, so now that we've mixed it, I'm gonna pour them in these fancy glasses. I'm sorry, I don't have any vodka to put in here with it, no, but that wouldn't make it healthy, would it?
Not that much.
All right.
So.
So the best times for smoothies, there's a few times. If you're in a rush and you can't cook, obviously solid food would always be your first choice. But if you need a snack or something in between meals, or if you're running out the door and you don't have time to cook a 15-minute meal, this is something that you can grab and go. Also good for post-workout.
Okay.
You want to try it out?
Thank you very much.
All right. Cheers.
I'll enjoy it. Cheers. Lep pozdrav. To je bil naš smoothie. Z Lukom Limenom bomo še v zadnjem delu debatirali najprej o stresu in o dodatkih, ki zmanjšujejo stres, morda pa še kakšno zadnje vprašanje. Look, supplements for lowering stress.
Okay, so supplements for lowering stress. The first thing I would focus on is definitely sleep, okay? Because that's really where people are messing up with cortisol and stress. So what we like is a little bit of 5-HTP, maybe anywhere from 25 to 100 milligrams. 5-HTP is the direct precursor to serotonin. So that will get you feeling a little happier and a little sleepier. So I would combine that with some type of GABA. Unfortunately, GABA will not pass the blood-brain barrier, so we use a phenylated form of GABA called Phenibut, okay? Anywhere from 200 to 600 milligrams of that, and then the last thing I would add would be some melatonin. As what's been shown is when you have high levels of cortisol, you produce less melatonin, and that's your primary sleep hormone.
Okay, so meaning if you take this supplement, you fall better asleep.
Yes, I would
It
take.
helps you to sleep.
Yes, I would take all three of those. The melatonin you could take anywhere from 5 to 20 milligrams, depending on how severe your stress levels are. There's no real negative feedback loop, so you could take that indefinitely as long as it's helping you, right?
Okay, if I get it right, it helps to fall asleep better.
Correct.
What about when you wake up during the night? What helps there?
Okay, so if you're waking up multiple times in the night, what you don't want to do is take more of the sleep stack, because taking melatonin too close to waking up is going to make you pretty groggy. You really want to try to have about 7 to 9 hours of sleep if you're going to take that. So there's a product that we have at Polico Group called Serenity. It's an ancient Chinese formula, and what it does is it basically clears things out of your head. So if you're waking up, you have high cortisol, you're thinking and starting to worry and things like that, it'll remove that noise from your head and allow you to fall back to sleep without having any type of sedating effect to you. And it's something that can be taken as well earlier during the day. A lot of people will start having their stress right when they get out of bed. And it's really important to dampen and manage that stress all day so that it doesn't accumulate and then peak at nighttime.
Stanley, what you do with your clients?
Well, I usually go and just try to remove the stresses throughout the day. We are mostly talking about stress from training, but I see that that stress accumulates, from your job, from your relationships, maybe kids and everything, so that people who have really stressful jobs can't do as much work because they're just pumping out too much cortisol. And so I basically try to remove the stressors, and I use a lot of
Phosphatidylserine, yeah. Yeah. And what's nice about phosphatidylserine is the studies have shown they can lower cortisol by 44 to 46%. And again, it doesn't have a sedating effect. And I think that's the key to taking cortisol reducing or stress reducing supplements during the day, is you don't want it to affect you mentally, or you can't perform, you can't work. So, when you look at allopathic medicine, they're going to give you something like a benzo, they're going to give you a Valium or a Xanax. The problem with that, it makes you really cloudy headed. They tell you not to operate heavy machinery, so driving a car, things like that. So you can take things like phosphatidylserine, you can take L-theanine, which is an amino acid you find in green tea that has a very calming effect. You can take Phenibut as well, as long as you keep the dosage low. It should not have a drowsy effect or effect on your brain. You could take Relora is a really good one. A good high quality Relora will keep stress levels down. And what you want is, you don't want to eliminate cortisol because you want to balance cortisol. You just want to dampen it and make sure that the body's creating the right amount. If you dampen it too much early in the day, then you're not going to have energy during the day, because that's what keeps you going during the first part of the morning and the early afternoon.
I got a last question for you. Yeah. It's an ongoing thing with clients. Fasted cardio, yes or no?
Okay, if we define what cardio is, do I think people should get up on an empty stomach and run sprint intervals or push the prowler or do like high intensity stuff? No, but I do like fasted walking, I do. You know, the studies are inconclusive on it, but after training for physique and training a lot of physique and bodybuilders over the last 15 years, I can tell you it absolutely works. Your blood sugar is low at that time, you have a better chance of burning more body fat that way. And so I'm all for it, but we're talking heart rate below 120, preferably 110 to 120 or below. I mean, we're talking leisurely walk. We're not talking about going out and, you know, we're not doing G.I. Joe, you know, running over things and doing pull-ups and burpees and stuff. So
it was awesome to have you here. It's really, and thank you again for that. We see each other pretty soon, I guess.
Yeah,
again.
we will.
And we hope that you will visit us again.
Oh, for sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, Luke.
Thanks, guys.
To je bilo za danes vse. Luke Limen, dragi gledalci in gledalke. Upamo, da se nam bo še kdaj pridružil. Vi pa spremljate naše naslednje oddaje, ko bo z nami spet Urša. Lep pozdrav.